I'm John.
I'm Mohammed.
And this is the 10-minute challenge.
Let's go.
All right, in today's 10-minute challenge, we are going to use a standard decent espresso machine just to make espressos. And we're not going to do anything else that's fancier than that. I am doing a 15-gram dose, and I'm using the niche grinder with the disc, which is definitely slower, but the grind quality is improved.
Why is the disc there?
The disc is there because it feeds beans in one at a time.
Okay. What does that achieve?
And that takes less torque. It doesn't popcorn at the end, so the beans don't bounce. I do have the next dose ready, which is good.
Yeah.
Okay. What I'm hoping is after I make one espresso that the machine can take the next portafilter and I'll be off and running.
Sweet.
What I don't know is whether I'll be slowed down by the grinder, because this is not a super fast grinder. The Niche is my favorite home grinder. It's a really good price, but it is not fast at all. For most people, that's just not a big deal.
Right. I guess if you're making it at home, the 30 seconds difference doesn't really mean much, does it?
And you can see that the time to make a shot is about the same as preparing. Now over there, I am making a lever shot. It is 15 in and 30 out.
What is a lever shot for the layman?
So a lever shot is a very traditional shot from the birth of espresso, where the power to make pressure came from a giant metal lever that we pulled on.
Okay.
And the advantage of that is that with your bicep, you could do less pressure as the shot progressed.
Right.
Now the reason that's good is as espresso ends up in the cup and not on the ground, there's 5 beans. I'm counting 5 beans. I'm doing a Rain Man on us. 5 beans, 5 beans.
All right. We're committed to the one shot, so we're gonna keep going.
Lever shots are basically the classic espresso.
Right.
The espresso starts off at 9 bar of pressure, and then as the espresso is being made, the pressure is decreased so that the flow doesn't go faster and faster. And if the flow goes faster and faster, the espresso gets bitter. So this is also why a lot of cafes will make 20-second shots. Now, this is older firmware, and I wish we'd upgrade it because this older firmware interrupts me in order to refill the tank. So that's going to slow me down. But about a week ago, we came out with new firmware that doesn't ever say, please add water. So that would be a definite improvement. That is our second espresso.
Sweet. You feel like you're getting more into the rhythm now?
It's easier with less machines, honestly.
Yeah.
When I had more machines and trying to get more going, it's just a little more difficult.
Right.
Now, one thing I just noticed too is my 2 funnels are slightly different weight, which is kind of annoying because it means I have to tare for each different funnel.
Yeah.
Unless I always use the same funnel. So I'm gonna try and pay attention and use the same funnel each time. So I'm running about, 15, 20 seconds behind the previous shots. But it's not bad. So all I'm doing is espressos with the Niche at this point.
Right.
Each espresso takes about 30 seconds to run, and you can see, looking at the pressure chart, that it starts off at 9 bar, and then the pressure is going to decrease.
Right.
Now. And the goal is for that flow, while it's speeding up because the espresso is being made, to be counteracted by the lowering pressure.
Okay.
And that makes an espresso that doesn't get sour at the end. You can see the flow is very consistent. It's a pretty espresso. Now, these espresso are not going to be wasted. This is the last day before our Chinese New Year vacation.
Yay!
And these are all going into a thermos for Bugs and I to drink.
For the whole week.
For the long weekend.
Yeah.
Since we're going to be away from our espresso machine.
Nice, nice.
Okay. Now, you might notice each time I start this, the start button for espresso is right under my thumb like that.
Yeah, that's very convenient actually.
Very much on purpose. so that you do that right. So yeah, this workflow with one machine, I gotta say, is pretty easy, except if you forget to put the beans in.
Or if you spill them on the floor.
That's gonna slow things down, yeah, but if you can count them and make up the difference, then that's really good.
Do you feel that you have everything you need on this station right now?
This is the station that I've had at home for like 4 years. This really simple setup. So I'm quite happy with this. You'll see when I first built a coffee cart, I had exactly this setup. So the pitcher rinser here, the same tamper.
Yeah.
Everything's right here. The fact that it's a little bit tight isn't really a big deal because I have enough room to work in.
Yeah. It's also very representative of Hong Kong.
It's representative of Hong Kong, and frankly, most people's kitchens don't have a ton of space. So
that's true.
We are 5 espressos in. How are we doing on time?
Just coming up to 6 minutes.
All right. We are somewhat ironically only slightly slower than when I had two espresso machines, right?
Yeah. Which means that you can make do with one machine most of the time if you're only doing espressos.
I think we totally can.
I think the problem, like, you would be slowed down significantly if you're steaming milk, right?
If I was steaming milk with one machine, then every time I'd have to add another minute.
Right.
And let the milk steam up, because you cannot steam while your espresso is brewing with our machines.
Yeah.
So.
And why is that? That's a very common question that we get.
Well, it's basically because the machine is quite small, and it uses the full power of your power plug to heat on demand, and there's no more power left to also heat the steam on demand. Because remember, the machines warm up in about 4 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's not like a traditional machine that heats up over 30 minutes and then has all that stored up steam.
Yeah.
In 4 minutes, we got the group head, we got the espresso machine ready, but we do not have stored power.
That makes sense.
Now, the other thing is that we're all about accuracy of temperature, making the best espresso. That's always the goal. It's always speed before anything. So speed, reliability, quality, reliability, and then speed is dead last in my goals for this design of the machine. So this kind of 10-minute challenge is not something I ever envisioned 5 years ago when we designed this machine, because really what we wanted was the best damn espresso we could make.
And now we have, what, 7, 8 of them?
We've got a lot of espressos coming out here.
4, 5, 6, 7. Wow. How are we doing in time, Paul?
Coming up to 8 minutes.
All right.
So
I think we can bang out two more, right?
I think we will probably hit that, but you know, we got a bigger problem here.
Uh-oh.
Which is, I spilled more beans in the ground.
And you're running out of beans at the same time.
And I'm running out of beans.
I mean, the bag is right there, but it's all you, buddy. No one is helping you. 10 minutes challenge is yours.
That's great. Let's talk about that during your salary review. All right. So I have put too much in there, but you know what? I'm going to try and get this last espresso out, because I suspect...
Yeah, but that's it. That's the 2 more espressos.
2 more espressos, and we've kind of hit a number that we like.
Exactly.
All right. So there we are.
Hold on. We still have a cup in there. You need to replace the cup. There you go.
Go.
Nice.
Okay, and this has 0.7 too much.
Amazing.
Just a note, the espresso turns out better in a cup than on the floor. I just want you guys to know that. That's just a pro tip for you. Okay. You can thank me later.
Yeah. I kind of like it on the floor.
Well,
makes for a better...
I've definitely practiced on the floor quite a bit.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Not too bad. 40 seconds.
40 seconds, all right.
Well, we might actually get there, because that is going to be... Oh! Joe, let's see if the refill ends by the time I'm ready to make my espresso. I am so needing that firmware upgrade now. We are feeling the pain. All right, so that is going to
There you go.
just do it, but we are not going to manage 10 minutes on our last shot. So
How are we
4,
doing?
2, 4, 6.
13 seconds.
13 seconds.
All right.
So, all right, camera to me. We managed
go.
9 espresso. 2, 4, 6, 9 espresso.
9.5, I would say.
And there's one that is finishing about 15 seconds later. So super interesting is that we have managed to do the same number of espressos with 1 espresso machine as 2. And what that means is really the problem is me. I did not have my workflow together. And probably it's because this is the setup I have had for 4 years. 1 machine at home. You've seen lots of videos with this. And I'm pretty good at making espresso this way. I think I've only made espresso twice on 2 machines. And maybe a year from now, we can see how that goes and I can get faster. But I would say 1 espresso a minute with a normal espresso machine. This is not the XXL, this is our normal model. Is totally doable. So thank you for the 10-minute challenge. Thank you, Mohammed, for distracting me and mocking me.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure. See you guys next time. Bye.